What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Millie. I appreciate you for tuning in, because look, man, you could have been any place else in the world, but you decided to be here. Now listen, we are fresh off 1,000 views. Clap it up for y'all, man, for real. 1,000 views. You know what that tells me? That simply tells me without y'all, there would be no me, right? And I appreciate that. And with this newfound energy, I'm really finna skyrocket this, and we all are going to beat poverty. You hear me? We're gonna beat poverty one way or another. Really think about this, man. I hit 1,000 views. I felt like I didn't know how to handle the fame. You feel me? I'm going into CVS, Walmart, Target. People are looking, staring at me. I'm thinking like, did you see my video too? Like, what? I don't know if it was that, or for the fact that I had my ski mask and my gun on me. But hey, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Let's go with option A. You feel me? So, to catapult us off the 1,000 view vid, I got another conversation I want to have with y'all. Okay? We talked about it in a little bit in that Fresh and Fit video about white people, using the N-word. But mainly, co-mainly, I want to talk about cancel culture. All right. So listen, man, as I've said time and time again, bro, I am from the trenches. Okay. And I did some time in a high school suburbia. Okay. And I will be the first to tell you, I would be lying if I didn't come out and say amid all of this that there is a white boy in the hood right now using the N-word. You feel me? And his peers, who are all black, won't even say nothing because they consider him a brother. You feel me? Now, I need the community, and what I mean by community, the black community, right? That's obvious. I need the community to really come in my comment section and give me the rules and regulations, because obviously there is some type of wiggle room if you're white and the N-word, bro. Have you seen the Django? We know how they were getting down in the Django. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, when I went to suburbia and I was in a class 13 deep, the only black motherfucker in there, when we read To Kill a Mockingbird or The Hunger, whatever the hell that book was called, okay, and Chad was called upon to read the next sentence and it got an N-word in there, and he said it, and everybody looking at me like I'm about to start a revolution. No, nigga, I'm just trying to pass the class. That's all I'm trying to do. Is Mr. Chad racist? You feel me? Listen, before I made this video, Papa Dios was working, and look what I stumbled upon. All right, this is a Reddit community. You know what I'm saying? This is of a rapper called N. Dot. I want you guys to give me your opinion on this. We're gonna play a game. Let's play guess his ethnicity. Let's see. Now, by the first 7 seconds, okay, what race do you think this man is? I'm just curious. This boy is probably not even 15 and he is dropping N-words. You feel what I'm trying to say? His co-conspirators, there's some black people in there. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, if y'all don't know the way it works, living in the hood as you're a jit, there are older people, right? That you kind of hang around when you outside, skipping school and shit. Okay? So this little motherfucker's around a whole bunch of black people saying the N-word. You think he is a racist? Let's just keep it all the way 100 with this, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? We as a community, we are too inviting, and I don't know how. Okay? But due to the times, right, there is some type of gray area. My word is not law. This is about what I have seen. Okay? So unless we all come to a public consensus of what white people can do with this word, then it's going to be constant confusion. Okay? Does it matter if they say it in a contextual manner? Whether they're reading a book, whether it's a a quote from a movie, whether the actor is white in the movie. We seen the Django, brother. We seen The Color Purple. Okay? We seen all of those. Okay? Are those people racist? I need to know. Let me know in the comment section. But nevertheless, to catch you guys up to speed, you feel me? Joe Rogan, if you didn't know, is under fire. One, for coronavirus misinformation. We'll have another video on that sometime down the line. You feel me? Because me, with misinformation, boy, I barely trust my baby mama with information. Why am I trusting the government? Nevertheless, all right, what came out after that is basically India Irie want to take her stuff off of Spotify because she believes Joe Rogan is racist. Had a whole compilation of him dropping the N-bomb, which we about to see right now, and some other shit he said about the community. Okay? So we're going to peep the video, and we're going to listen to his apology too. All right? And we're going to see what Miss India Irie has to say.
Hey, y'all. I want to leave a short message here about why I decided to ask my music be pulled off of Spotify. So check this out.
No white people. Says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in.
Joe. Brother, hey. Again, I'm not defending anybody saying some racist shit. I'm only here to have the conversation. So don't come in my comment section trying to tell me I'm defending a racist. No, okay? I'm a regular guy. I work in an office. I just like to have real thought-provoking conversation no matter how taboo they are. Because at the end of the day, no matter how controversial, okay, there is some room for a gray area. Okay, and agree to disagree. And that's all I want. The quicker we can do that, the quicker we can get out of poverty. All right? And we are not even close at this point in time.
The door, and there was no white people. It says, okay, take.
I empathize with the people who are leaving for the COVID disinformation reasons, and I think that they should. I also think that Joe Rogan has the right to say what he wants to say. I also think that I have the right to say what I want to say. So as an artist who builds, Spotify is built on the back of the music streaming. So they take this money that's built from streaming and they pay this guy $100 million, but they pay us 0.003% of a penny. Just take me off. I don't want to generate money that pays this. Just take me off. That's where I'm at. And I know that I'm actually, to be honest with you, surprised that my statements were picked up, because I thought people weren't really going to listen to me because that's what I'm used to from the industry. But I'm glad that I am being heard, and for that reason, I want to clarify my statements. Again, this is why. Watch this.
Like, you know,
The nigger thing.
yeah,
saying the word nigger.
You've already said nigger.
D is just like nigger. Saying nigger.
She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger and starts calling them niggers.
Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. About niggers. He says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then our niggers start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger and he couldn't say nigger. And most nigger.
So we know how social media can be.
Okay, I want to set the tone. Although some may believe there should be in no context that you should say the N-word. Obviously, that is a lie based upon how we live today, right? Now, I feel like it's crazy for them to clip just him saying the word and not everything around it, because from a few of those clips, it sounded like he was repeating some shit or repeating what someone said. Does that necessarily make him a racist? Like, not everything is racist. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, he said the N-word. I'm not defending it for the millionth time. But on a side note, not everything is racist, bro. When anytime something major happens and motherfuckers add race, it streamlines the dynamic of the problem into a whole different avenue. Okay? Sometimes, literally, it's facts over feelings, bro. Sometimes it's not because this white motherfucker hated this black guy. Sometimes it's really not that, okay? Listen, I grew up in the trenches. You feel what I'm trying to say? I grew up in the suburbs. That's the motto. I stand by it. This is how I'm able to give y'all the knowledge from both sides. Okay? I've dealt with shitty cops, bro. I've dealt with them. Were they life-changing trying to kill me? Nah, not really. I'm going to keep it 100. I fed to their ego. Here's my shit. Get me up out of here. I didn't do shit. You can check whatever. Okay? So I feel like it's just one of those things. Now, again, I'm not saying there aren't cops out here, you know, whose wife's cheating on them or whose wife's beating their ass. So they got to, you know, come outside to work to, you know, bother some brothers. There are people like that. Okay. But just like there is people like that, there are also people who are cops who are just dickheads. Like that's just, you know what I mean? That's just all it is. Officer dickhead. Like that. What can you do about that? Sometimes it's not race. Sometimes it's a character thing. He's just an asshole.
Things can be doctored. People are taken out of context. It's happened to me many times. However, I want to be clear in no uncertain terms. Where I stand on this is that he shouldn't even be uttering the word. Don't even say it under any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. It's my right to stand there. I have always stood there. I have other feelings about it, but those are nuances that are not meant for this moment. He shouldn't even be saying it. And so the confluence of energies comes into play here. So now we have this person who is offensive to a lot of people who's paid $100 million. Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is the music.
What are we doing here? Is this a money getting issue or is this like real activism? Which one is it? Because I'm getting mixed emotions. Now, I'm all for the activism. Okay, Black Panther, I'm all for it. Okay, do not clip me and try to make me seem like I'm some type of other motherfucker because I'm going against the grain. I just want to have the conversation because I feel like this is a little bit more than you trying to stand up, you know, for racial injustice. You feel what I'm trying to say? Now, I find it completely ironic that Mr. Rogan has been podcasting for 11 years. I ain't forget last presidential election, y'all wanted him to moderate that shit. I ain't forget that. And these clips didn't come up then. Okay? So I'm confused on really what's going on. Nevertheless, though, okay, I like how you stand up for this, right? But look at this. I'm going to prove a point. We have R. Kelly, who went to jail, what, a year ago, 2 years ago, for high sex crimes, some involving underage children. Okay, and we got his greatest hits. Okay, to Ignition, I Believe I Can Fly, I'm a Flirt, not the remix. Okay, same girl and Bump and Grind, and he went to jail for sex crimes, some dealing with younger children, and he talking about bump and grind. Why don't you take yourself off for this? Why don't more artists take yourself off for this? When I hear cancel culture, if we're going to talk about cancel culture right now, when I hear cancel culture, that shit is the second worst thing after crack, nigga. When Ronald Reagan brought crack to the trenches, okay, 20 years later, 30 years later, we got cancel culture. This is the second worst thing, bro. Cancel culture is about selective outrage, okay? And mainly it's really, if you talk about specific groups, and it's like it always seems to happen. If you talk about the LGBT community, you see what happened to the baby. Son said, if you don't have HIV, say hell yeah. They was ready to destroy that man. You feel what I'm saying? Cancel culture is mad selective. I can go down a list. High politicians to low ranking politicians, from high value celebrities to low value celebrities, all have said some weird shit. And we do not cancel them. Elvis Presley, we ain't gonna talk about how he met his wife when she was 14. Elvis, can I find Elvis on here? Let's take a look. Mr. Elvis. And we also have his greatest hits. He can't help falling in love with children. Granted, they got married when she was 21, but met her at 14. We not canceling him over this. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're going to cancel some shit or make it a hard time or ruin someone because they made a mistake, whatever the case may be, we need to be consistent across the board. And we cannot not cancel people because they're a legend or they put their stamp on the game or they're super pop. Canceling should not come with no prerequisites. You feel what I'm trying to say? Drake is not getting canceled. We called him wearing blackface. He wasn't even. Pusha T beat that man into fathering his kid. Okay, Cardi B talking about drugging and robbing men. What am I missing? Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't know, but let me know.
So you pay the musicians that are the backbone of your business 0.003 to 0.005% of a penny, and you take this money that you generate over here, because all the rest of it goes somewhere. The subscription fees go somewhere. So you take this money that's generated over here and you use it to invest in this guy. Do what you want, but take me off. Or pay me too. And I don't just mean me, I mean us. Artists like me, pay us too.
I need to see the stats on this because I feel like, is every artist getting paid 0.03%? Any of my rapper friends, anybody that's in the music shit, let me know. Is that universal? Because if we're comparing what artists makes to podcasters, where typically a podcast is, once every day, 2-3 times a week. Speaking on Joe Rogan, every time he starts his podcast, there's 11 million. Not 100,000, not 100,000, not 1,000, not 100. There's 11 million daily listeners. Okay? That don't got nothing to do with your little EP, you know what I'm saying? Your little mixtape, all right, that you drop once every 2 to 3 months, sometimes years for most artists because that 360 deal was bad. Okay? You can't even drop how you want. So, is there some type of comparison? Is there some type of some threshold? You know what I'm trying to say? If you have a certain amount of streams, you get this much more percentage. I don't know. I don't work for the industry. Okay, but I feel like that part of it is tentative. You feel me? But hey, correct me if I'm wrong, man.
Pay podcasters of color too. So artist relations from Spotify called me yesterday, and they asked me what I want, and I've been thinking about this all night. I'm not going to say it all here, but what I want to say to you is something that I already knew. But I want you to know that they said it last night. Most of the streams on Spotify are black music. But we know that if you're paying attention at all, you understand the role of black music in this world. So,
it's so funny she said that. What a perfect thing to say. Listen, man, right there, we know the role that black music play in this world. Do me a favor. Go type in ESTG and you listen to some of his bars and you let me know the role his shit is playing. Okay? 90% of rap music, and I listen to that shit, especially drill music, which I need to retire from because so many kids are dying from that shit. I'll do a video on that at some point. But nothing about rap, 90% of it is not good shit. Okay? If you listen to ESG, you go into the bathroom with the lights off, okay? You say this name 3 times, you will turn into a brick of fentanyl. I promise you. He's selling fentanyl to everybody. This is how you get rich, is what he's saying. And when he is put and he's limelighted on the radio, on the top charts with all his tracks and his features and shit, what is the role that music plays? Now, we understand black music is the most influential music there is. You don't see country music motherfuckers getting down. You don't see rock stars and other rock musicians smoking on their They're dead rivals rock group. That don't happen. Yeah, they might be doing some spells and incantations and shit subliminally, but they're not in the songs saying I'm smoking on your dead friend. And that is 90% of rap. Lil Durk, a major artist, he cannot stop smoking Doug. He said he gonna stop. He did, and he put him back in the song. Gucci Mane, we know what happened with Young Jeezy's homie. He put it in the song. Although I believe sticks and stones may break your bones and shit, words may never hurt. It takes a lot to hurt my feelings. Like it takes a lot, and I run by that method, and I'll teach my son the same shit. But at a certain point, when we understand that rappers and athletes are put into the biggest limelight, especially rappers, and this is the music they promote, where I can on my hand probably name 5 conscious rappers, and they don't even drop like that. Who is leading us? The rappers and the athletes is what every kid aspires to be. And that's the shit that they're putting out. And she says this is the role that they play. You won't take your music off for that shit. You won't. You never will. And this is what I mean by canceling and being selectively mad about certain shit. Is this even your true intention? Are you being paid? Who knows? All right? But listen, man. Nevertheless, Joe Rogan, man, he dropped an apology. And let's see how it is. You know, typically when white people get called out for being racist and they drop an apology, I'm a little skeptical. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, this little hits a little closer to home because it's Joe Rogan. I've been watching him for a minute. But we going to fill it out, though. we going to see if he's actually being sincere. And let's see what he got to say.
There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it's horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting.
And that's a good point. Back in the day, I don't know what the hell they were selling when Richard Pryor was alive in his prime. But what, DVDs? What, cassettes? I don't know. You know, so when a white person goes to go buy his shit and the N-word is on the cover, like, that's not weird to y'all? You know, obviously that's some type of dark twisted humor. But, you know, I say that to basically say this, right? Now, obviously, there is some type of gray area that is like a gray area that we know but don't know about. All right? We can sit here and name books, movies, shows where they've all said the N-word, but we don't deem the actor saying the N-word as racist. You know what I'm trying to say? We don't deem that because what? Is it because that they're acting? Do we know that it's fake? How is that particularly any different from him quoting someone or him reading an excerpt from somewhere with the N-word in it and he's reading it verbatim? How is that any different? Is it because it's not on a movie? Like, I don't understand what the difference is, because in my mind, to me, that's the same thing. I mean, let me know in the comment section. I mean, that probably is a better rationale than Corey Cutthroat, who is pale, white as hell, saying the N-word like no tomorrow. And no one who's black, who is not in his circle, was not going to check him, because Corey has no problem up in a pole and robbing you for everything and leaving you in your damn socks and dookie stained underwear. And this is a fact. Okay? If there is a white boy in the hood on the block, just know he is there for a purpose. He's living like that, because there's other white young boys in the hood too who you don't see outside. But the ones you do see outside, that's a special breed. That means they done improved and they are stamped to be on this block. And he can drop the N-word, and you not gonna say shit because he'll slap the shit out you. I seen it. I'm just saying.
Quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction, or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody.
Not to mention that UFC fighter. What is that boy's name? I forget that boy's name. You know what I'm trying to say? Right after he had a big fight, it's the Irish guy. You know what I'm trying to say? The famous Irish guy, whatever the hell his name is. Right? He had a UFC fight. I'm pretty sure he might have won. This was about last year, within the last year. Right? He was singing the Biggie Small song. Right? If you don't know, now you know, nigga. Okay? He's singing that on video. Mind you, him and his constituents all singing it at some type of wedding celebration. We ain't canceling him. We're not Tyson Fury. That white man beat the hell out that boy and got caught singing the same song, and he did not get canceled. Cancel culture is weak as hell. It's worse than crack, and is not consistent enough for it to even be real. And that's all I got to say about that.
They were just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline, it could be a term of endearment, it could be lyrics to a rap song, it could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, up. And I clearly up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes, over 12 years. I said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said, we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were...
I don't want to laugh. That's not funny. That's actually fucked up. I ain't gonna lie, Joe. Okay, that first compilation, all right, you might have got in the way of the skin of your teeth, right? Because there's a lot of gray area things that, you know, we in the community, we don't have the Englishes for. But that Planet of the Apes shit, you was dead wrong for that. All right, you was dead wrong. Okay, I don't think that was a good thing to say for the sake of entertainment. Okay, because although maybe you didn't mean it like that, but I mean, you in Philly seen the Planet of the Apes, and not one black person in sight, and you said it looks like the Planet of the Apes in here. That's foul. That's not funny. That's foul. Okay.
We were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood.
That's almost like, it's like when you bring a white suburban dad to a rap concert. You know what I'm saying? Like he has his perceptions of how black concerts are, but you know, he had his negative perceptions before, but came out loving it. Okay? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the shit is still weird to me. Okay? The Planet of the Apes shit, I ain't gonna give no excuse to. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not really feeling that. All right? But in the sense of the cancel culture, I don't jack it. I think cancel culture needs to be eradicated, man. I'm sick of that shit. I don't want to hear nothing about no canceling nobody, because we can't even cancel everybody. Okay, we picky choosy with what we canceling. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, man, let me know in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, add the socials. Let me know if you want me to talk about a video. You know, drop it in my DM. I'ma answer. Listen, I ain't too famous yet. Okay, I don't got no assistants, right? So you DM me. I'ma answer. We're gonna get that video on here, man. Other than that, I'm out.